What is the most profitable way to play Farming Simulator 25? That is a fantastic question. My name's Fast Farmer, and that is what we're going to be answering with this giant mega series, if you want to call it that. I have 9 different game saves, all identical starting out. This is the settings we started out with. $500,000 of starting cash plus the starting farm. And then I have crop destruction on, periodic plowing required. I have fieldstone off, lime required, and weeds are on. And then I turned off the disaster destruction as well. Just so we've got everything set up the exact same. As I said, 9 different game saves. Not doing all that now. This is just what I'm calling the balanced playthrough. This is kind of the starting point. If I play the game just the normal way that I play the game to enjoy, how much money will the farm be worth after, say, 3 to 5 years? And then I'm going to do all these different strategies or methods for making money for that same amount of time. And then we're going to see at the end of those 3 to 5 years which farm is worth the most money. But we don't need to worry about all that right now. All we need to do is do the proper first year, first harvest farm stuff. So I'm going to start this on a worker, planting something. Let's see what we can plant. I do have crop calendar on. So I'm going to go ahead and put canola in here. Now, before we get started with the harvest, I am going to bring this guy over here towards the field just so we can do some carting. Yes, we do have $500,000, and I will absolutely be doing stuff with that money. But first, I want to just get this typical first harvest out of the way. So let's go ahead and rock on. Alright, there's the first field done. I consider that the first harvest because we only had 2 fields. But there is a wheat field right next to us that's ready to harvest, and I know I'm going to buy it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And this is much larger, so I won't make you watch this time lapse, but I am going to go ahead and harvest that. And we're actively working on planting this other field here. I say we, it's just this worker. And I guess he's almost done, so good for him. We are, of course, going to have to cultivate this field and plant something in it, but I'm not going to plant anything yet. I want to wait. Alright, I'll see y'all when we got the harvest done. The harvest is done over here on field 48, and I did decide to go ahead and plant canola here on field 46 right in front of me, so 45 and 46 both have canola, because I'm going to buy 43. It's got soybeans, and they're getting close to being ready to harvest. It's $100,000, so I'm going to buy that. And then I'm going to put this away. The reason I do that is because I'm going to have field 48 and 43 on the same crop, and then 45 and 46 will be the same crop, at least for this harvest. We did end up with a total of 52,000 liters of wheat, which is going to be worth about 60 grand in January. That's approximate. We'll see how much we actually get for it. Now, I was considering selling the seeder and cultivator to get a bigger seeder that's direct drill, but I don't have enough horsepower to run anything significant, so I guess we're going to keep this stuff for a little while. But what I do want to do is get rid of this John Deere 3650 and upgrade that, so we're going to go ahead and buy the replacement. It'll be this Fendt Xylon, and we're going to spray with it, or be able to spray with it. Thankfully the store's right here, so we can just hop right on over, sell this stuff, and move this stuff back to the farm. I am also going to get a larger tipper, and then I'm going to try and save the rest of the money. I'm so bad about this, but I always just throw all my money at the start of the save into a bunch of stuff, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, it would be nice to have some money sitting around. So now with this piece of equipment, we can spray off all the weeds on our fields as well as fertilize, so that'll be super handy. Plus, I can take this spraying attachment off and use it as a normal tractor as well, which is awesome. Lastly, we need a trailer. This one is a lot larger than the one we did have. Then we should be good to go to move forward a couple of months. I'll need to fertilize the canola, and then the next big thing is harvesting of the soybeans, so let's get to it. It's now November, and the soybeans are ready to harvest, so we're going to go do that. I did also spray off the weeds on both of our fields I planted, plus the soybean field, and I fertilized both of those fields twice. And I am playing with crop destruction on, so I did leave some tracks in the soybean field because it was already grown enough, whereas the canola wasn't quite grown up enough to matter. And then, if you could see down there at the end, I also accidentally turned around on the field, because I forgot I had crop destruction on. Alright, let's get this harvest. And here's the harvest finished up. We'll get all this stuff back in the silos, and then the next thing we'll be doing is selling both of our wheat and soybeans to see how much money we make for next year. So from the first trailer we made about $34,000, and we'll see what we get from this one here too. $29,620. That's not bad. So in total about $64,000, and now we're gonna go back to the farm, and I'll see you guys at planting time. Alright, it's April morning, which means it's time to plant. The canola's still growing up and we can't sell our soybeans yet because they're ready to be sold in July. But we did get a new planter. I rented this one because we're going to be planting sorghum. So I'm going to go and cultivate the fields and then it'll be planting time. Alright, so the planting went pretty well, and then I also got to spray some fertilizer and some herbicide on the sorghum that I planted, and it's always a blast being able to drive these new Fendt tractors and nurture the crops. But now it's been a couple of months, and the canola is ready to harvest. The sorghum is getting very close to be ready to harvest as well, and it's July, which means we gotta sell the soybeans. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that to the highest bidder. We made almost $36,000 from that. $35,899. Even though it's July, and I technically started this first year in August, and the canola's ready to harvest, I am going to wait until next month to harvest the canola, and I think the sorghum should be ready as well, just so I don't do two harvests of the same field in one video. So we're going to go ahead and end the video here. This has been the first year on finding the best profitable way to play in the game. Again, this is kind of the benchmark because it's just the normal way I play the game. So after about 3 to 5 years, we'll have our answer on how much this farm will be worth if I play the game normally. Stay tuned for a bunch of extra episodes coming because this is going to take a while. Alright, I'll see you next time. Peace.